Garvey, get 'em.
Here we go again.
Hello everybody, you're welcome to my YouTube channel called Femi Diaries. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I want you to take a moment and go over there and subscribe to Femi Diaries and click the notification bell also. I'm beginning a short series, but another series today. And I just finished a series on the 7 most important things in life. And if you haven't seen that series, I'd like you to check it on my YouTube channel. Now today, we want to talk about an offshoot of that 7 most important things in your life. For you to do those 7 most important things in your life, this thing or topic we're going to talk about is very key. And this topic is called goals. So we've talked about the 7 most important things in life. The vehicle or the way or the medium in which you're going to be able to do those 7 most important things or make them achieving those 7 areas is to set goals for your life. Now, a lot of people at the beginning of the year do desire to set goals for their life, and for various reasons, many times they fall off on the side and are not able to bring those goals to pass. But we just want to kind of break this thing down a little bit and look at it a little bit closer. So a goal is a desired achievement, something you want to achieve in your life. Now, I don't believe goals should just be ambitions. I believe goals should be deeper. Now, if you follow the series on the 7 most important things, we talked about vocations versus careers. And when we talked about that, we found out that vocations were deeper. They came from a deeper place, a place of connection between our spirit man and from what we believed that we were born to do and what we are here to do. It was more meaningful. I believe goals should come from a more meaningful place in our lives. But even assuming you just have a goal, something you just want, a desired result or a desired ambition or something you want to achieve, then you talk about goals. I can divide goals into 3 categories. We can talk about what we call long-term goals. Long-term goals. We could talk about mid-term goals. And we could talk about short-term goals. Now we're dividing them because not all the goals we want to achieve will take the same amount of time. Now we're just going to talk, not in very specific amount of time, but just something we can work with in this particular breakdown. Long-term goals, we can say they should be goals that we want to achieve between 5 years and above. So that could be a long-term goal, between 5 years and above. Again, the mid-term goals could be goals you want to achieve in the next 2 or 3 years. So these we can say in the next 2 or 3 years. And the short-term goals, we could say they are goals you want to achieve within a year. So these you want to achieve within a year. Now, some people are like, where do I start from with the whole thing with goals and all that? Again, we just talked about the 7 most important things in your life. If you go back and check out that video, it gives you 7 areas of your life that are very important. That was the goal of the series, to kind of highlight for you 7 areas that are very crucial in your life that you definitely want to pay attention to. You can set goals for these 7 areas. Now, what goals do is they help you to have a measure of progress. What goals do is they help you to know that you're actually moving forward. Now, let's consider, for example, one of those 7 most important things that we talked about. And one of them was self-development. We already talked about this in the last series. Now, if you wanted to set a goal for your self-development, for example, wanting to have like a long-term goal for about 5 years, assuming you want to go back to school, maybe you had never been to school before, you don't have a bachelor's, for example. You could set that goal for yourself to have a bachelor's within 5 years. I'm just giving us examples here. Bachelor's degree within 5 years. So that could be a long-term goal that you can have. Now, your mid-term goal, for example, between 2 to 3 years, it could be like pay off a car. So maybe you have a car that you have and you're paying on the car. You could set a goal to pay off car within the next 2 or 3 years. Now, the short-term goal, for example, this is something you want to achieve within 1 year. It could just be to move to the next grade or to go to the next year in your career, in your degree plan. So to maybe have like maybe to finish with A's, to have A's. So you want to have A's in all your courses. A's in your courses. So this is just kind of an example of how we could break specific goals we want to achieve down in our lives. Now, we've talked about the long-term goals being things beyond 5 years. We gave an example of it being like a bachelor's. A midterm goal, you want to achieve between 2 or 3 years. Maybe pay off a car, for example. And then a short-term goal, this is something you want to achieve within a year. Maybe you want to get A's throughout that level of your degree. And these are things that now help you to know that you have actually self-developed. Because in using this as an example, this is one of those 7 most important things in your life. After you've achieved these things, your long-term, mid-term, and short-term goal, you have actually moved forward and made progress in the area of your self-development, which is one of those 7 most important things that we talked about. So this is just an example to give you how we can break down this issue of goals and having goals in our lives. Now, for your goals to really, really come to pass, there are specific things I want you to know about your goals. Your goals have to be what I call SMART. I'm going to use my green pen this time. Your goals have to be SMART. Now, what do I mean by your goals have to be SMART? The first one, your goal has to be specific. Specific. You have to have a specific thing you want to achieve. Now, in what we just talked about earlier, we found out that the person wants to be the long-term goal for 5 years. The person wants to be, a qualified, maybe surgeon or maybe a accountant within 5 years and have the bachelor's. So that's a specific goal, and that's a specific thing the person wants to achieve, to become an accountant. So it's very specific. You know that that's exactly what that person wants to achieve. The other thing is the person's goal has to be measurable. Measurable. You have to be able to know when you actually have hit it. In this case of the accountant, by the time the person becomes an accountant, definitely the person will know that this goal has been achieved. The next one is the A. It has to be achievable. The goal has to be achievable. Now, in this case, definitely the person has to look at the reality of being able to actually go to school and qualify and be, qualified to actually become an accountant. Another example would be maybe somebody who, there are different kind of situations we could look at when we talk about having an achievable goal. I mean, someone who is 50, for example, trying to become a school athlete and qualify, or maybe qualify for the National Football League, for example, that will never happen. So that goal cannot be achievable. So your goal has to be something that you can actually achieve. Apart from the achievable, it also has to be reachable. Can the goal be reachable? Is this something you can reach? Now, somebody who is 10 or 11 years old trying to be able to drive a car, that's not going to be an achievable goal. That's not going to be a reachable goal. So your goal also has to be reachable. And the last one, it has to be timely. It has to be timely. There has to be a time set for the achievement of this goal. So, for example, we talked about the example with the accountant who knew that the long-term goal would be within 5 years. And, you just set goals that you have a specific timeline to achieve them. So today we've just looked at goals and what they are. And we've looked at different kind of goals, long-term goals, mid-term goals, and, short-term goals, and put some duration of time on them and kind of explained what this thing called SMART means. That your goals have to be specific, your goals have to be measurable, your goals have to be achievable, your goals have to be reachable, and your goals have to be timely. We're going to stop there for today. I hope this was something that was really encouraging to you and helpful to you. I will catch you guys in the next one.